Hello, my name is Susan Schwartz. I'm a Jungian analyst and a clinical psychologist, and I'm age 63. I'm being filmed today in my house where my office is, and this is the office that I have, where I do analytical work and psychotherapy with a variety of different people, and I've worked for quite a long time also with people with eating disorders. I have been a Jungian analyst for maybe about 25 or 30 years, and I've been a therapist of one kind or another my entire adult life, so actually it's quite a long time. My approach as a Jungian analyst is actually quite different than others in the fact that I go in depth with people and find meaning in what they are about in their lives and what is bothering them at this point. So for instance, people with eating disorders would come to see me and we would examine not just the symptom of the eating disorder, but really what it means inside of themselves and what it means for their life and why they are wanting to do something about it right now. Some of the techniques that I use, which maybe are a little different than other people's, would be work with the unconscious, and that is seen through one's dreams. So people will write their dreams down, they'll keep a journal, they'll put in how they feel about the dreams, how they felt about the dream during the dream. Is the dream part of a dream theme series? Why did the dream happen now? What does it mean to them? Also, we pay attention to their rituals and symbolic pieces of their life, which means people who have eating disorders usually have a lot of rituals. For instance, one of the people that I worked with, that I'm going to talk about just a little bit later, had a lot of mouth rituals. So there would be a lot of movement around their mouth. There would be a lot of course, thought of food, exercise, etc. That became quite compulsive. And all of these we began to work with to be able for them to figure out why and what they meant. Not just why it was occurring, but what it means on a really deeper level. And so that's what Jungian analysis does, is it really looks at life at a deeper and more meaningful level. So I do that through journaling, sand tray, which is a square box of sand, and people choose different figures, oftentimes to fill it up, and they make like a picture. In other words, they make like a dream. So oftentimes people with eating disorders have got significant things lacking. Maybe the center is lacking. Maybe one of the corners is lacking. So once again, we look for themes, we look for what's there, we look for what isn't there. So again, journaling, dreams, sand tray. I have people do pictures, not just of themselves, although that's a part of it, but pictures, not to be a Picasso, but to be themselves. And that really is the point of the whole of what I do, is help people become who they are and the essence, really, of their entire being. So the person that I was referring to a little earlier was a woman in her late 20s, and she came because she had been anorexic as a teenager, oftentimes very typical of people, then had become bulimic, and now quite a lovely young woman, or quite a lovely woman in her late 20s, and struggling with all of the obsessive food thoughts, feelings that she doesn't look all right, inability to be close, relationship coldness, you could say, difficulty relating to herself inside. So she brought in her journal, she brought in quite a few dreams, we looked for themes, and also what we found were some characters in her dreams which were really something to contend with. For instance, sleazy guys who wanted her only for sex, and this related to her eating disorder, her food issues, her body image issues, and the other dream theme was mom coming after her with a knife, which was pretty big. So what we did was go back to her childhood, bring that forward into her present life, and try to deal with that and find meaning in those dreams, not just in the dream, but in her life and what was going on with her. And part of what how that occurs is also through her work with me. So what happens between us, how she feels here, what happens in her feelings towards me, and I would say also me towards her, and how we use that in a relationship way. So over time, and this is the Jungian approach, over time, I'll stress that again, she got into the essence of herself. She actually was able to get engaged and get a wedding dress, which was really a thing for her, and deal with her own body separate from her mother's. She reclaimed it herself and got into a stronger place within herself. So that's kind of a complete ending. I don't know that it's completely happy, but it's a complete ending, and she felt quite good about herself after a long time of work. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I appreciate it.